Hello, y'all. I'm back. It's 4:27 p.m. So I came here and I was sexually harassed by an old man. So I don't like coming here. I thought I saw him close to that motel I was staying at a couple of months ago. But I hate when people be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" I say, "I'm fine." They say, "Oh, you sure are fine," you know, sexual reference or whatever. So, I mean, there was a point in time last year, around August or September, and I was coming here and I was getting sexually harassed really bad by the homeless men. And so, it was bad enough that I had to quit coming for a while. So, I started to mildly doze off, but I kept my guard up because I didn't know if they were going to have me leave out of here and have other people come in or whatever. But I'm glad that from 1 o'clock until now, I'm glad I was able to have this room to myself. But I wish I would have got to take a nap since I got only about 20 minutes, what felt like 20 minutes of sleep early this morning between 4:30 and 5. Wait, no. It was after 5:30 because the first bus had passed. And then sometime after that, I finally dozed off and went to sleep I forgot what the dream was. But it was a very deep and intense dream that I had. And then I woke up, it was 6:02 in the morning, and I heard more buses that woke me up. So I got up from that spot and I showed y'all, the stuff I showed y'all. And then just showing y'all about my day. Then, well, I had oh yeah, I told y'all what I ate already. And I had like a pecan muffin for lunch. So thankfully somebody helped me online with $20. And so, I can get to use that for the food and a few other necessities that I need. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm close to close to running out of batteries for my MP3 player. So while it's more quiet here, I'm trying to not talk so loud, and that's why I took my earbuds out. In the MP3 player, I took it out because when I have the earbuds in, I don't realize how loud I be talking. So I have better self-control when I take the earbuds out and try to be able to hear myself, try to talk lower, not talk so loud. So, the people from this organization, I guess it's a Christian-based organization, they called me, a female had called me, and as soon as I heard a female voice, I hung up. You want to know why? Because I mistakenly thought that it was that perp that's been calling me from that male perp, the guy perp that been calling me from random different phone numbers. So as soon as I heard somebody say hello, then as soon as they said hello, then I hung up because I thought it was him. Because he would call, he would either call and bully, harass, and threaten me, or he would say stuff that's nonsensical, or he would try to call me making sex noises, or he would call me and from random different phone numbers, and he would call me also from in a high pitched child voice. So I mistakenly thought that was him again. So I hung up the phone. And so then she texted, and then I called back and it was another lady. And she said, oh, well, I'm not in the office or whatever. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Is there any way I can contact her? Please, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that was her, trying to get back to me. So then she finally texted me and I apologized to her and explained the situation. And so then I heard that she was in training or something. So then I felt bad because I said, I mistakenly thought you were the guy that was harassing me and calling me from different phone numbers. But she's like, oh, I definitely don't sound like a man. I said, I'm sorry, I know you don't. But he makes voices that, can sound like a girl or a child. So he would make voices that sound like a girl or a child or something. So then her supervisor or the one who was training her was, she took over the phone conversation. And I guess I'm supposed to have some kind of mentorship with somebody who is like a mentor or something that's supposed to possibly work on maybe some ideas or goals to help me get out of my situation. But, I'm glad she was compassionate and understanding and prayed with me even at the end, because a lot of people, they think you're bullshitting when you tell them, then you tell them your series of unfortunate events, and I cannot mention about being a targeted individual, being gang stalked, or any of that. I couldn't mention any of that, but I had to just talk about what I'm going through without mentioning gang stalking or the targeting and stuff. So, and I didn't realize, I guess I'm more hindered and more disabled than I thought, and I know I am. And she was saying, well, with $837 a month, no way you can get a place with that amount of money, per month. But guess what? Before COVID came, it was 2019 and early 2020. They used to have places here, $475 and $500 a month. And I think everywhere with the inflation, everything just going up, going up, going up. So, the lady was saying about the average place is about $1,000 or so for rent and stuff. It wasn't like that when I first got here, because when it was 2019, I had been here a couple of months. I already got on that list of housing. And then, I was working at the YMCA, and the moment I got confident that I started to go around looking for a place and start to think I can get confident and get, if I was making, they didn't let you work more than 30 hours, but I tried to beg them for more hours. They wouldn't give me more hours. So I was working 30 hours a week, and with that and the Social Security check combined, it was probably about 1,500 or so, or maybe 1,700. I don't remember. But everything started to get comfortable enough that I almost landed a $500 a month place that's in a quiet area, like a block or two away from this library. Is quiet, in this area downtown. And they sabotaged my job, set me up and lied on me at the YMCA. That YMCA downtown is supposed to be Christian based, but they are corrupt and run by sodomites. Downtown Pensacola is corrupt and run by sodomites. So, and there were a few other times when I've tried to get housing or try to get a place, or I'll find a place and then the gang stalkers will sabotage it. It happens so much. But even in 2019, like December 2019, certain places were trying to say that, to subsidize housing or this housing or that housing, that there was no space available and they had, what do you call that? The waiting list. So, well, the lady on the phone today, she was telling me that, she was trying to tell me that there might be some specific, maybe not housing, maybe housing, maybe not, but she said there's supposed to be maybe some specific resources for me, being disabled. And so she also, she said, well, we don't want to close the door on you or shut you out, because she kind of felt like there was almost maybe nothing that they can do. But then that's when she decided to hook me up, tell me about this whatever mentorship program or something like that. And I thought even far back as last week, I thought that maybe if not opening doors, then I don't remember. Yeah, it was supposedly them. And I don't know if they still do it, and they're not doing much of anything. The homeless outreach. It's like the opening doors is always the go-to, the point to, and the REAP people, they won't help. And it's like, well, how the hell they have a woman-only living circumstance where that lady stood me up at, and it's outside. And I don't have a car or a tent or nothing. And so the lady didn't tell me all that over the phone. She made it like as if, she could help me get, that she can point me in that I was gonna get an appointment to be pointed in the right direction to get I was gonna be pointed in the right direction to get help with deposits for a place to live. And it's just, they just make it so hard. And then the online perps, they are twisting the narrative. They weren't there, and I put it all on video, and they still twist the doggone story up to be like, well, no, that's not happening the way Candy said. This is what happened. When you weren't there. You weren't on that phone conversation either to hear what went on or what happened. Excuse me. They're making my nose itch. So, they weren't there to see or hear, that phone conversation. That lady made it like as if, oh yeah, come over to the office. And she did not tell me over the phone that, oh, you can't come in the front office. You're going to have to, she didn't tell me none of that. She just led me on to believe that we're going to help you get housing and get you help to pay for get your deposit paid for and this and that, whatever. But I showed y'all the strange headlights. Those people were perps. And that Rick died from the REAP place is a narcissistic perp also, who won't help. And so the lady earlier, when I was just talking to her on the phone, she said that she utilized Voc Rehab. And she said there was another lady who utilized Voc Rehab and that they got the help that they needed. While when it come to me, quite a few throughout the years off and on, I've tried Voc Rehab. And I would always get like, except the first one, the one that I was still in high school. And Voc Rehab was paying for my college, part of it. Voc Rehab and Pell Grant and all that. And then they had this other agency for a couple of other agencies from former foster kids that helped me, with college. Helped me financially through college, and then still had to take out student loans because they kept on raising the tuition, but they weren't raising the Pell Grant. No, they were raising the tuition but lowering the Pell Grant. That was by design also. So, and I had a couple of small scholarships. Was it one or a couple of small scholarships when I started? It was like very small amount of scholarships. And so, that's what the gang stalkers do, and I did not realize that was part of my targeting. And I was sad this morning thinking about the abuse of fake foster mom. And I told y'all before how I couldn't even stand a chance. Like, how the hell are you gonna be blacklisted from life? Before you even hit high school. And my first job was for workplace mobbing. I was workplace mob my first job, and I was 17 years old. Just turned 17. And blacklisted, blackballed, and not allowed to get a job for years. Or if so, it would be like a temp job that they bully me off the job and give me a hard time. And then I was on those psych meds and couldn't stand on my feet for long periods of time. And I didn't realize because of bad diet and inflammation, body inflammation and psychiatric medications that caused me to be so physically handicapped that I couldn't stand for long periods of time. But, it's like I would have to keep my body alkalized. In those lower wage jobs where you're forced to stand on your feet all day, it's like, and then junk food served, like pizza or burgers or something. Wow, it's like you can't even get any proper nutrition or anything. And can't even get really any proper nutrition. So you end up being all kinds of aches and pains. You're still taking Epsom salt bath, and you still be in pain. It still don't help. But what really helps is the alkaline diet. It really works. But I don't be having enough money, to get to eat healthier like that, like I wish I could, or get to drink the healthy fruit and vegetable juices or smoothies. And I don't have, like I explained a couple of days ago. So, so yeah, I forgot until the last minute that was that other job interview I was supposed to go to, and I forgot what time it was supposed to be, and I didn't realize. And then again, I canceled it because I was afraid that they were going to stand me up again and play another game, because that was the job, the job I tried to apply again, and that job, was the job with Amazon DSP. The Amazon DSP, when they said that they had an interview, and I paid $68 round trip to go from Gulf Breeze to over to Pensacola, in the area that the buses don't run. And so, excuse me, I when I went there, they said that there was an interview, and then the managers were freaking out and said that there was no interview. And that happened to me at the airport in New Orleans. And then a ghetto perp lady mocked and laughed at me and said that I think it was a dishwashing position at the airport in New Orleans. And, you know, she bullied, harassed, and laughed at me and said that I needed dishwashing experience for 3 years, you know. And a couple of times I've tried, I think it was, I don't think it was Enterprise, but it could have been Avis or Hertz or something. In New Orleans, I tried to get like those kinds of jobs at the airport and they didn't hire me. But, I wish like the Avis job that I was just working, I would have wanted that to be kind of like one of my favorite jobs. But they bullied me off the job and forced me back in my situation. So, and I can't believe men did that to me. Not women, but men. On that job, men. But except one female. And she was a lesbian. So, I'm like, damn, I just got here. And they, trying to run me off the job already. So that's why I be saying that I need something by myself, and some other stuff I needed to talk about, but it slipped my mind. But I was thinking all morning about how the foster mom, set me up for failure. And it's like other foster children, they end up on the streets and homeless after they turn 18. And then if you in foster care and then you have kids and then your kids get snatched away and put in foster care and drugged up on psych medications, and then they have kids and then their kids get drugged up and taken away too, and then a lot of the parents are totally innocent, and it's like, the foster mom set me up for failure and destruction and took all that doggone money from me. And, she didn't care how I suffered. But the woman, her favorite motto or phrase was to say, "I'm going to show you," as her way of letting you know that she's going to get revenge on you. So that's why I wanted, I figured she'd point me in a gang stalking. I didn't think she would be so diabolical to do something, go that far. But I was still a child, and they decided that they hated me. Despite me busting my ass and trying to make good grades in school, they just made it like as if I'm a dead girl walking, because I was still a child then. Like I was a dead girl walking. And like life was over for me. But I thought once I broke away from her and got on my own, and she was still trying to control me even after I turned 18. It took me years I was trying to figure out stuff and question stuff and wonder why am I singled out, why does society hate me and stuff. It took me years to find out about this doggone targeting. And all because society hates you. So, even after I turned 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, 22, the foster mom was trying to stop me from working. Trying to force me to not work. And even people, after I broke away from her in 2006, 7, 8, 9, whatever, the mental health people, whether in New York City or Denton, Texas, they wanted me to be forced to focus on mental health programs and would not let me work. Even after I already had a bachelor's degree. I've talked about that before, that they would not let me work, or they did not want me to work. And so now I'm homeless and everybody telling me go get a job. And then people would say nobody's going to hire you. And They got too many abusive, exploitative narcs in this world who delusionally believe that they're bigger, better, and higher than perfect. And I'm the one who's so flawed, you know. So, yeah, I've been thinking all morning about how I didn't have a chance before I even turned 18 and became an adult. I mean, I've talked about that before. Like, that reminder that the foster mom is the chief reason why I'm in this doggone predicament. You know, and then she even brainwashed my twin sister to treat me a certain way and hate me and abuse me, and which turned up for the rest of the biological family. Ended up, you know, they all hate me and stuff. But I hear stories about people saying that if you're a targeted individual, your own family members are sworn to secrecy and sign non-disclosure agreements. But the foster mom, she used to have everybody keep a close tabs on all of us and watch our every move and come back and report everything to her, like with the Masonic Craft family from across the street and stuff, you know. And one of the members had something to do with how my targeting came about too. And as I said, people want to try to make it like as if I'm telling such a bullshit story, you know. So I don't want them to cut this video off. So anything y'all can spare to help me eat and survive, or help me bus fare, whatever y'all can donate, whatever y'all can spare. Thanks, they're gonna cut me off. Bye.